What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince McMahon is still a problem in WWE. How much will Vince make from a WWE sale? The Undertaker reveals what he told Bray Wyatt. There's no plans for a top star. JBL finished with WWE. John Cena spotted in new role, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first we looks at Vince McMahon is still a problem in WWE. Atop of today's news is another story concerning a potential WWE sale, in this case whether Mr. McMahon is helping to facilitate the sale or he's hurting the process. Vinnie Mac returned to the WWE recently, claiming he was there to oversee any sale of the company or new negotiation of a new TV rights deal. However, is the Kingpin making things easier or harder? Or Meltzer is reporting because of the payoffs to a number of women regarding affairs and allegations that some of those situations were not consensual, McMahon's return to the company and involvement in the sale talks has been very controversial. The economics of WWE are very strong and look only stronger going forward unless there's a collapse or decline of media rights fees. Meltzer went on to discuss the report, which suggests, at this stage of the game, the belief is that McMahon's presence is a hindrance and not a help in these negotiations. Although as the largest stakeholder, he is also the key beneficiary financially if and when the sale goes down, and for that reason forced his way into that process. You may recall a recent story that Vince McMahon made it clear that putting him in charge of creative is not a condition of any sale. There have been rumors that McMahon was trying to use a sale to regain power in creative. Now we know better than to try and hypothesize on what's going on through Mr. McMahon's mind. However, it's incredible to see him return to the company only for himself and the company to face lawsuits and potential lawsuits over the way he returned to the company. Regardless of whether these lawsuits are filed to capitalize on the upcoming sale with the idea that WWE will settle just to move on with a potential sale, it's mind-boggling that WWE has tolerated McMahon putting a target on his back and the company's. Mr. McMahon is the majority shareholder in terms of voting rights, but the board does have options for dealing with him if they feel he's creating too many problems. Next up, how much will Vince make from the sale? While it remains to be seen if the WWE is sold, it looks like it could lead to a big payday for WWE executives and major shareholders. Let's look at a recent report from Dave Meltzer concerning how much several players look to bring in. If the company was sold for $8 billion, this is roughly what the key people in the company would make from the sale. Vince McMahon $2.5 billion, Stephanie McMahon $170 million, Linda McMahon $50 million, Kevin Dunn $24 million, Nick Khan $13 million, Frank Riddick almost $11 million, Paul Levesque $8 million. What do you think of these potential paydays? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, The Undertaker reveals what he told Bray Wyatt on Raw. What did The Undertaker whisper to Bray Wyatt when the two interacted during the Raw 30th anniversary show? Fans have been asking this for weeks, as many believe that the interaction was an informal passing of the torch. Now The Undertaker is letting the world know what he told Bray. During an appearance on Sportsnet, Taker revealed, "I just let him know too that my phone's always on, and if he needs to talk to me about things or run things by me, that's cool. I would be more than glad to share my experiences with him and hopefully shine some light on questions that he has moving forward. It was a cool moment and I did exactly what I thought it would do." During the interview, the Phenom praised the current Bloodline storyline, noting Sami Zayn is doing remarkably well in his role, and Taker also discussed the comparisons between Bray Wyatt's character and his. There's obviously a huge amount of comparisons between his character and mine. I think, he's his own guy, he's his own character. I don't think it's fair to him to compare what he does to what I did. In the big scheme of things, obviously, it's in the same supernatural, I don't know what genre. It's 2023 and he's doing his own thing, but I can appreciate and I can see what he's trying to do. Now, The Undertaker has repeatedly praised Wyatt's ability, and it's clear he's a big fan of his work. This dates at least far as back to WrestleMania 31, and The Undertaker reportedly told Vince McMahon to take care of Wyatt as he saw a lot in him. Next up, no plans for WWE's top star? What does WWE have planned for Matt Riddle at this year's Mania? The WWE is preparing for its biggest show of the year, which means it has plenty of matches to plan out, but according to Ringside News, they don't include Riddle. Fans who are hoping to see Matt Riddle on the road to WrestleMania might want to stop reading here, as WWE has zero creative plans for the original Bro at this time. WWE reportedly suspended Riddle after an alleged second violation of his wellness policy. It's unclear whether the WWE wants to give the original Bro time to show he can work without any future problem, or there's some other factor keeping him out of Mania. Would you guys like to see Riddle wrestle at the Showcase of the Immortals? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a Randy Orton update. Speaking of returns, what about Riddle's RK Bro tag team partner Randy Orton? The Viper has been recovering from back surgery, but a recent picture of him shows Orton in terrific shape. Should fans take this as a sign that he's on his way back? Well, Meltzer had to say this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. We've heard no wrestling update on him recently, but his back injuries were very serious, and a few months ago there was concern about whether he'd be able to return, or at best, it would be a long time, which it has already been. While Randy Orton is an ancient of days, he's 42 years old and he's had major surgery, therefore it could take him some time to heal and rehabilitate. Like any return, there's also the matter of the WWE not wanting to bring him back for just any storyline when he's cleared to wrestle. In addition, the WWE may want to keep his return a surprise. Unfortunately, this is another situation where the best the fans can do is wait and see when the Legend Killer returns. Next up, WWE Will Air SmackDown from the UK live. That's good news for UK fans, as the WWE has decided to broadcast an episode of SmackDown as well as its upcoming Money in the Bank PLE. WWE released this press release. There's no word on whether the WWE intends to air Raw in the UK, but we will continue monitoring the story. Next up, Eric Bischoff believes the Bloodline story is better than the NWO. The Bloodline storyline is white hot, but how does it compare to WCW's New World Order saga? Well, Eric Bischoff weighed in during an episode of his 83 Weeks podcast saying, the truth is the Bloodline story in terms of a storyline and the ingredients and the elements and the discipline and the structure and the nature of it, it is a far better story than an NWO. Will it have the same impact on the industry as the NWO did? Probably not, but that has a lot to do with timing. He discussed why things worked so well for the Rogue faction that terrorized WCW. There were so many things that made the NWO work, including Hulk Hogan turning heel, by the way. There were so many things that were just a moment in time that helped propel that storyline at that time that you can't replicate that today. Eric Bischoff's heavy involvement in creating the NWO gave him a unique perspective on things, so it's interesting to see him here and praise the Bloodline storyline over the New World Order. Next up, JBL done with WWE for now. That's bad news for fans who were enjoying the storyline featuring JBL's attempt to transform Baron Corbin into the modern day wrestling god. JBL parted ways with Corbin on the 6th February Raw after Corbin lost to Dexter Lumis, admonishing Corbin for tarnishing his name and telling him you can't polish a turd. Now Meltzer is reporting that JBL's role is over and that JBL is done as a character. There's no idea what's next for Corbin, but he's been repackaged so many times that one can only imagine what's next for the former Lone Wolf, King Corbin and Happy Corbin. The only thing he hasn't tried is a supernatural gimmick. Perhaps Corbin can join the Wyatt Six or break out as Papa Corbin, bringing Papa Shango's gimmick back into the 21st century. Next up, Kurt Angle talks comeback match. Is Kurt Angle planning a comeback match? Well, wrestling's Olympic hero recently spoke with Sports Illustrated about his upcoming role as celebrity judge for the PFL Challenger Series 3rd week. During the interview, they asked if Angle plans on coming out of retirement. I don't plan on doing another retirement match. Once you do, you're never retired. You just keep on going back and doing it over again. It's refreshing to hear a retired wrestler dismiss any talks of a comeback in light of how many other wrestlers swear they are finished in the ring only to return to action a couple of months later. And finally, John Cena spotted a new role. Last but not least, have you seen John Cena's new look? Well, People magazine had a picture of Cena along with this report. The actor was photographed on the set of the upcoming Prime Video comedy film Ricky Stanicky in Melbourne, Australia on Wednesday. Cena, 45, stood with his face covered in makeup, complete with lipstick, eyeliner and painted on eyebrows. Well, there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.